Huh? Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Former baseball player turned business executive. And I'm Jason Kelly, a journalist at Bloomberg. Over the next couple months, we'll hear from all stars like Jay Williams and owner Billie Jean King. Paul, don't just try to get ahead of it. So
over the next 3, 6, 9 months, how the discussions play out and what does it mean?
I do some effects of tariffs now on inflation, on prices.
I like the idea of the 10% tariff across the board.
I've spent my entire career focused on fiscal discipline. I don't think these people have the foggiest notion what they're doing. I think DOGE is doing tremendous damage to government.
Elon Musk is probably the inventor of our age, but who understands that we're in the midst of the most profound convergence among technologies.
We are facing a once-in-a-generation technological disruption.
We have to have good.
I think, Don, it is correct to be, as of now, pricing in 3 rate cuts in 2025.
I would take the other side of that bet.
Remember autonomous flight? Like their electric land-based counterparts, one of the appeals of eVTOLs being electric is that there's potential to take the pilot out of the equation entirely.
EHang in China is right at the front end of autonomous eVTOL flight, which is remarkable. And we're some way off that situation in other parts of the world.
Many companies looking to launch eVTOLs commercially are starting out with pilots on board. But China-based EHang is moving forward with autonomous flight, straight out of the gate. They say their 2-seat eVTOL has completed pilotless flights across 19 countries.
I'm about to step into a flying taxi, and if that's not radical enough for you, this one has no pilot.
In the air, please do not touch the door.
Okay. I can't believe I'm doing this and that there's nobody flying this. We're about to lift up. It's quite exciting, but here we go. It's a bit noisier than I expected, and I won't be looking down too much because I am afraid of heights, but right now it feels very safe.
My colleague did in the EHang autonomous eVTOL, which is like a little bubble, and he described the experience as slightly unnerving, slightly exposed, noisier than expected, but something that he got used to by the end of the flight. You think about it, it's a very novel experience getting in an aircraft with no pilot. That's something that even the eVTOL manufacturers admit will take time to, I guess, win over people's trust. We've been accustomed to flying with a pilot for 100 years.
Pilot or not, people are going to have to trust flying in an eVTOL, and safety is a big part of that.
Safety concerns surrounding the eVTOL industry are similar to every kind of air travel industry. Are these aircraft safe? Are they reliable? And if there's no pilot in the front, are they going to be able to deal with unexpected emergencies?
Air taxi 75, entering control zone is approved.
Delta 1, holding short from
There's a lot of air traffic already going on. Here in the middle, you see the airport of Hamburg, where we are. One runway to the north, where we have an airport waiting for departure. The Ryanair is just... And then all these labels, which say ATMC something, these are all air taxis. And they're all coming to the airport or from the airport from different places in the city center. And here you see a landing happening just now.
Before the real-life scramble of introducing unmanned air taxis to the skies, the DLR Institute of Flight Guidance at the German Aerospace Center is offering a peek into the future of air travel, all from the comfort of a simulation.
What we have seen earlier was the working position of an air traffic controller in a tower at an airport. So that would be the very near future, where we have probably piloted air taxis that can do voice communication with a human controller in the tower. And what we see here is a little bit more into the future. We have no voice communications with the vehicle directly. There's no pilot on board. So we do all digital here through the control systems.
eVTOLs are going to need to do a lot more than just fly. They're going to need a place to land. They'll need to be able to navigate air traffic and cities with lots of people.
Urban air mobility or innovative air mobility, that is the broader term for the whole ecosystem. So we have to think about the vehicle, the infrastructure, the operation, but also about the public acceptance. If you want to have flying eVTOLs in cities, first of all, you need a vertiport, because that is the landing site where we would expect eVTOLs to start and land. And then when you think about more the operational aspect, there are challenges like bird strikes, other flying vehicles, hobby drones, fireworks. That would be a challenge. And the last challenge was the weather. Probably not all of the eVTOLs we currently see as prototypes will be capable of flying in really bad weather.
Flying cars may still be a long way off, but eVTOLs are very much here. But when, where, how, and even if we see them shuttling people around the skies is still a big question.
There are a lot of issues that need to be addressed before eVTOLs take flight, but I have no doubt that you will see them. I mean, they are flying already, but most of these flights are demo flights.
Within the next few years, it's very likely that we will see commercial eVTOL operations, but they will start with very few numbers in a few example cities.
One of the more interesting things I've heard recently is the future's already here, it's just not equally distributed. And I think this will very much apply to eVTOL, and does. Don't forget, even though all of us now have smartphones, that was a 30-year journey to get there. So this technology, even though it's here, it won't be here for everybody from the beginning.
We could see these companies rewrite urban transit maps around the world if they can offer a new form of air travel that's convenient and that's affordable. At the same time, it could just fizzle into a niche market only within reach of the very richest travelers, and in the process burn up billions of dollars of invested capital.
When our engine stops, our drive continues. A new opportunity, driven to be better than before. We go again, as we prepare for another race. This way of life is not for everyone, but I would not trade it for the world.
You missed it on Bloomberg Open Interest.
Finding some sense in these crazy markets.
I hope they turn around, though. You know, because my 401k, I'm looking at my 401, my retirement, and I'm thinking, God, how many more decades do I have?
Your retirement account. I cannot say that enough. Set it and
you need to find a new targeting.
I need to find maybe a new future. I'll be standing next to Paul Sweeney as a greeter at Walmart, you know, in our 70s.
Don't miss Open Interest live weekdays.
you talked about how governments are not looking at healthcare and investing in healthcare as much as they should. What's the message you'd like to?
I think a healthier population is always going to be a. It's just that sometimes the political will isn't there in some of these countries. So I hope that they can keep this as a priority, because a workforce that is 20 or 30% down during a pandemic or an outbreak, or there's certain diseases that keep spreading, is not healthy, it's not productive. And if you want everyone to perform at their best, and you want healthcare costs to be down, you don't want to be burdened with insurance costs and other costs, I think it's important to invest early in health, in child health, in women's health, and I hope that continues both in India and other parts.
Bloomberg Screen Time. I'm Ed Ludlow.
And I'm Caroline Hyde. From the heart of Hollywood, the perfect place to discuss the future of entertainment. And that future depends on live events, live music, live sports, live...
Bloomberg Screen Time gathered the business leaders, celebrities and entrepreneurs in the next phase of culture. Some of the businesses that once stable are contracting. The is on the immediacy of live events.
And that's where we start with Michael Rapino. He's the president and CEO of Live Nation Entertainment. He spoke with Bloomberg's Lucas Shaw.
How has what people will pay for changed over